They overthrew the Roman government?
Yeah.
Or
Like,
they established the Roman government that we remember.
Well, yeah, they changed the government to what they wanted.
So what was it before?
Wasn't it like a monarchy?
Rome's never really been a monarchy.
I'm not exactly sure. But I do know that they didn't want one person to fucking take charge like Caesar did.
Oh, this is after Caesar.
Well, yeah, these are the three guys that...
This is in response to Caesar.
No, motherfucker.
What are you saying?
Listen.
Okay.
These three people were the three individuals that were in power and had the resources and the reputation and the following that was big enough to overthrow Rome's current government and make them three the lead.
Mm.
And Crassus is the rich motherfucker that was in Rome, and he was the guy that paid for all of Caesar's debt. Because remember when I told you that he got himself in so much debt that he wasn't allowed to leave Rome because the lenders were afraid that he wouldn't pay them back. Yeah. So he convinced Crassus to pay them off for future whatever. Like, you know, when you make a trade and they give you somebody and they don't tell you exactly what they want back, it's like future considerations, shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Crassus paid off all his debt. He started going to all the Gallic tribes, and originally he was just taking them out because he convinced everybody that all the city-states of the Gauls were gaining technology, they're learning, they're becoming more and more like the Romans. And he didn't want that shit. He's like, fuck that, they're gonna...
Yeah.
He used it as an excuse, saying that they're going to become just as good, if not better. They're all going to group up and take us down. Because if they're on our same level, why the fuck would they live under our reign, you know?
Right.
And he convinced Rome. They said, okay. So he's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go raid their shit, take their people as slaves, steal their gold, gain all this power, this reputation.
Mm-hmm.
There's 250 plus city-states allegedly. So his people that he had with him during his conquest, they're making money. He's treating them well. They're becoming extremely loyal to him. And he's just developing this huge fucking following and reputation.
Damn, man.
Yeah, and then he finds out that the Celtics are doing the same exact thing on the Gauls. Fucking them up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then that's when he twists shit again in his favor to say, you know what? These Celtics aren't doing what's right. They're hurting our allies. And now I'm going to save our allies. So for like a decade or so, he's just fucking the Gauls up, and then the Celts are doing the same thing, and then he turns shit around again to say, no, you're hurting our allies. You need to stop. You need to give back all the resources. You need to give back all the hostages.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Celts are like, no, fuck you. Like, if you want to, we're doing the same thing you are. So if you want us to stop, you got to make us stop. And then Caesar did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Caesar was a bully. A little bit.
He was an inspiration to so many other fucking assholes like that. Like Napoleon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Hitler. I don't know about Hitler, but I'm guessing.
Is Alexander the Great before or after Caesar?
I don't know. That's a good question. He was referenced several times in this podcast.
Alexander?
Yeah, like the difference between Caesar and Alexander, because Alexander was a warrior that would go straight into battle with his tribe, with his people.
Mm-hmm. And
Caesar was more of the guy that stayed back and was directing everything.
The general.
Yeah.
Versus the soldier.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the podcast I've been listening to, the Celtic Holocaust. It's from Dan Carlin, and there's a whole bunch of those. I recommend, if you like history and you like hearing the past about wars and how detailed they can be and all the shit that you don't get taught in school, you know.
I've heard a lot of good things about the
Listen to that fucking podcast.
Yeah. Heard good things about it.
What did you end up doing yesterday?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Day before St. Patrick's Day, I got home from work. I waited for you to get home. Realized you weren't going to be home for a while. And I went to sleep.
That's all you did?
I went to sleep at 6:30 p.m.
That must be nice, though. Low break.
It was weird.
Did you wake up at like 2 a.m.?
I did, exactly. 2 a.m., pretty much. And I tried to go back to sleep, just wasn't happening. Got up, played some Star Wars.
The Battlefront?
KOTOR, actually.
Oh.
I beat KOTOR.
I was going to say, you almost done with that shit?
Done. After 47 hours, I completed it.
Jesus Christ.
It was a lot.
Did you get laid or what?
I didn't get laid.
Did you have to kill her? Bastilla? Whatever.
No, it actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would. This entire time I've been trying to romance Bastila, bring her down to the dark side. which would also bring me down as like a fall from grace, love story type thing, Anakin Skywalker, whatever.
Basically, Anakin, if Padme
was also Force sensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
And she liked Anakin's dick that much, she was going to go to the dark side.
Right. So Bastila actually went to the dark side first, and she joined my former apprentice, which is Malik.
Darth Malik?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if he was a Darth.
He is. He was the Sith Lord. He killed, quote unquote, you, Revan, and took your throne. Now you're back to take it back, and Bastila is in your way. So I fight her.
Oh, shit.
I fight her, tell her that you either get out of my way or die, our feelings aside. And then we fight, and she gets weakened, and she sees my true power, and she comes over to my side. I'm like, yes, got her.
You didn't even kill that bitch?
No, I didn't kill her. I brought her with me. We ruled the galaxy together, and that's how it played out.
It's kind of like what Kylo Ren wants to do as Rey.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is more powerful between them, Rey or Kylo?
I'm going to say Kylo. Although,
really?
The way that they describe it, we have to finish watching that movie, by the way. I was watching it. That is something I did yesterday. Before I went to sleep, I was watching that. I was super baked. It was about the best thing I had ever seen. I was watching. I literally had shortness of breath. I was watching.
Yeah, I need to watch it again.
Oh my god.
There's so much shit that I missed when we went to the movie because I fell asleep like a
right after the Yoda part is like the best part in the movie.
Yeah, I need to watch it again.
Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, so the connection between Kylo and Rey, as Snoke explains it, is that Kylo's equal in the Force on the light side will rise with him. So the stronger that Kylo gets, the stronger Rey gets because they're connected through the Force.
What about Rey? Yeah, vice versa.
Yeah, this entire time Snoke thought that Skywalker was Kylo's equal, so they've been trying to find him. Now they saw it's Rey. Snoke tries to kill Rey. Shit goes bad for him because he's pompous.
If he killed Rey, would that make Kylo weaker?
I don't think so. I think he just severs the bond and then Kylo grows by himself. I think there is like a mutual benefit thing to them going up together, but...
Right. Well, they push each other.
Right. But if you get rid of your enemy, then you're uncontested anyway, so... Yeah.
So that was your Friday?
That was my Friday. It was a Star Wars Friday.
Let me tell you about my Friday.
I don't know if I want to know. I was so confused. I got home from work. I went to sleep, and then I woke up at 2. I thought you guys had already gotten home and went to sleep. Everything was dark. I was being super quiet. You guys weren't even fucking here, were you? You never came home.
No, dude. We fell asleep at my sister's house.
At what time? Like 2:15?
Probably like 3 o'clock.
I was alone this entire time. I had no idea.
Well, yesterday was actually my sister Alexa's birthday, the birthday day. So when I got off work, me and Sam... Well, first of all, we went to my fucking credit union because my dumbass tried to do a balance transfer. I did it on the wrong account, too, on top of that because I did it twice.
Of course you did.
And I accidentally paid my very first credit card ever. It's a $100 limit. I accidentally paid off the $15 balance that was on it with $2,796.
This little tip for the bank.
Yeah, so I went to the fucking credit union and they were just looking. She calls our manager. They're staring at the screen. They're like, I've never seen this before. And they just started laughing.
Well, there's something.
And I sat there. I was just clowning with them because I knew I fucked up like an idiot. But it was nice because they already deposited it right back into my checking. So.
Oh, just like that?
I didn't have to worry about nothing.
That's cool.
And then got my sister a cake. Went to my mom's. She wanted a drink, and like when she got into the car accident, she's been on pills ever since, but she doesn't really take the painkillers that much anymore, so she can actually start drinking again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we got her like a big ass thing of wine, and Sam got a fucking 4 Loko like an idiot.
That.
She got 2 of them.
That's ridiculous.
And I was like, do you know what 4 Lokos are? Have you ever had one? She goes, no. I'm like, well, I mean, they're gonna fuck you up, like. And she goes, I'll mix it with orange juice. I'm like, whatever. If you're gonna mix it, okay. She didn't mix shit.
She didn't?
That bitch didn't mix anything. I pick up my sisters, we go to the house, and we start drinking. And everything's fine. Sam's getting buzzed. And Xena calls, says that she called off work because her car broke down, which kind of sucks. Her power steering went out. It's like $700 to fix it.
Didn't Sam just have the same problem? Someone just had the
Sam
same
had
problem.
lower power steering fluid. Xena just completely went out. They had to fix it.
Gotcha.
When I went over there and picked her up, they had a fat fucking blunt waiting for us. Fat fucking blunt. We smoked the whole thing. Then we took a hit.
What time is this? What's the time frame here?
Shit. I was probably about 5:30.
Okay. So you're halfway through your night,
Yeah.
even.
And Sam was buzzing. We all got baked. I'm driving. We go to a smoke shop. I'm driving like an asshole. I didn't even realize it because I was like constantly hitting my brakes. So it's kind of like rocking. And Sam's not good with motion sickness.
Oh, God.
I go to the gas station. I go to get gas. And I'm outside. and then I go to open Sam's door to ask her if she wants anything inside, and there's fucking puke everywhere in my fucking car. I just got detailed, man. I was like, oh
serious?
no, babe.
This was at 5:30?
Yeah, I was like, are you
man.
okay? I felt so bad. It was in her hair and shit. It was.
How did it get in her hair?
She has long hair. When you puke, you know,
she
it
just
goes in
laid
your
down
yeah.
thought she
Xena
had
hurried
it
up,
up.
got out of the car, ran inside, got baby wipes, and cleaned up.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was at 5 o'clock. I was like, well, Sam's 2 for 2 for throwing up when we're partying with Xena. And we pushed through. We went back to my mom's house. We all started drinking. Ethan got hammered off a Corona. And it's my sister's boyfriend. And he started throwing up in my mom's bathroom. We're all fucking
Jesus,
just
man.
having a good time. I'm listening to my sisters. They're cracking me up. Summer is, because she's the oldest of the house now, right? So I have 6 sisters, and then I was the oldest. I moved out, and Xena took the reign of the oldest. Got that responsibility. She moved out. Now Summer has it. And she's like the mini mom. Like, she cooks all the time, and she helps my mom get after them and all that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it cracks me up hearing her talk, because it reminds me of exactly like me when I was her age.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Just how she bosses the girls around, how she like pushes them if she's like if they're in her way, like the big sister, and it's hilarious. She was telling
just knocks him down.
yeah, she goes, sometimes if Mary runs her mouth, I'll just walk by and smack her and walk away. I start cracking up.
It seems to be the Martwinsky way.
Yeah, we're assholes like that.
I see that.
But they have their own little cliques too. Like me and Xena would always team up on Summer and Jasmine, and now Summer and Jasmine always team up on Alexis and Mary, and vice versa.
So you guys got teams.
Yeah. So if Summer is getting after Mary, and then Alexis sees it, Alexis will run and jump on Summer, and then like they both jump on Summer, and they're like messing around wrestling, and Summer starts like screaming for Jasmine, and Jasmine goes, "I know you ain't touching my sister," and starts going after Mary, and I just start cracking up, crying, laughing, because I could totally picture that shit. And me and Xena did the exact same thing.
She's like a ghetto version of you.
Yeah, it made me feel a little warm inside. Like, okay, that's cool. They're just like us. But we were all fucking around, dude. I busted my ass on the hoverboard, like Mike Tyson style. I straight up folded, like, boom.
I saw the videos of you guys using it. I was looking at it. I was like, "There's no way he doesn't fall." You were doing it with a beer in your hand. I was like, "Oh my god,
Dude,
what a disaster!"
I was pretty good all the way up until when I went to go get off of the hoverboard.
How do you get off?
You kind of just like step off like you're taking a step, but you gotta do it real quick. Because if you don't,
if you get off
thing
balance,
just takes
things
off on
flies.
you. Yeah. So I took one step off and I didn't take my other foot off quick enough, and that fucking thing went boom, and I just fell backwards. I kept my beer up, but when I fell, the explosion of it made it go boom. So like it spilled everywhere. My mom like almost ran into the fucking kitchen because it was so loud, thinking I was hurt, but I was fine.
You just laughed it off, didn't you?
That's all the cardio from my hard work, baby. I can't get hurt no more, son.
Is that
just
how that
bounced
works?
right off.
Yeah, it's probably just.
I'm just winging it. Maybe I was buzzed.
Adrenaline. So anyway, how are we doing on our NBA stream? Do you remember?
Did we won last game?
We dominated.
Who did we face?
Cleveland.
Was it Cleveland?
It was. LeBron put down 40, and we were like, "Who cares? We'll also put down 40." And there's 2 of us.
Yeah, that was fun.
We outnumbered them, like the Sand People.
Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, outnumber them.
I've never seen a team on Star Wars.
Of Tusken Raiders.
Yeah,
you do need them.
Galactic Heroes. That's what it's called. Right?
Have you looked at the mod battles
What?
or the mod challenges? That's like the recommended way to get mods in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is what we're talking about now. Really rapidly switched gears there, but basically,
Well, after that Tusken Raider
had to go to Star Wars.
accent, you can't really go back.
So anyway, in the mod challenges, you'll see you need certain characters like only Jedi, only Jawas, only scoundrels.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's any for Tusken Raiders, but I don't know. It sounds like it'd be fun. If you have so much money that you have all the other characters and you just want to fuck about, go for some Tusken Raiders.
Did you get the 500 purple crystals?
Yeah, I had no idea what that was for.
I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah.
I got
I was like,
1,150 now.
I have 150.
Do you? I just spent like 300.
So I'm always so poor.
I'm kind of just waiting till whenever I need to spend them or not.
It's like a life curse for me. I'm like immune to profit.
You can't stay ahead.
Yeah.
That's how I was at RuneScape all the time.
Oh,
For the longest time, I would make 100,000, 100K to 1 mil, and then I'd lose it doing something stupid, and then I'd start over.
I played RuneScape when I was like 7.
You ever played it since?
No.
Do you know there's a live tournament going on right now?
I know, it's a big deal now.
It's a $20,000 tournament. It's called the Deadman mode.
Has it always been this big of a deal, or is it...
There's never been tournaments like that.
Yeah, so this is like...
I don't know.
A resurgence.
Maybe. Because back in the day, I think there was more people playing. But now with Twitch and the specific niche in that, and the old school base of RuneScape.
Yeah.
Because Twitch being so popular and they have all these personalities that play the game, they're able to have these tournaments and little extra bonus things and shit like that.
Isn't that crazy?
It's gnarly, dude.
The rise of streaming and whatnot has boosted the popularity of so many games like Fortnite, PUBG.
It adds a whole different perspective to it, which is awesome.
Absolutely. It turns it into a sport almost.
Yeah, like the RuneScape streamers, they get invited to Jack X's headquarters all the time for like new quest ideas or new tournament ideas and get their input, and they help them with their streaming, and it's pretty sweet. That'd be a pretty cool community of nerds to hang out with.
For real.
Like, they all look fucking nerdy as fuck. It's funny as hell.
I even saw one streamer was playing with Drake. Playing Fortnite. I think it was like yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
named
sick.
Ninja. That's pretty sweet.
Ninja?
Mm-hmm.
White guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Blue hair.
Yeah, he was a Halo 3 pro.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, he's playing Fortnite now and he's playing with Drake.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
He was like, right when Halo 3 started to end and Halo Reach got involved, that's when he started being really good. He used to beat everybody one-on-one. Like all the pros, like Naver, Roy, all of them. He would just murk them. He was really, really good at 1v1s.
That's crazy.
But yeah, this Deadman mode tournament, it used to be like only the clans would win. Because basically what it is you get a week and you get to train whatever you want. And the whole area is PvP, where you can kill anybody at any level. You can be rank 126, combat level 126, and you can kill level 3 if you want, just to be a dick.
So it's like a battle royale type thing.
Right, but certain cities you are guarded, so you can't fight in there. And once you attack somebody, you get a skull. And for 30 minutes, that skull is on you, depending on what level you kill. Like, if there's somebody that's close to your combat level, then it's only 15 minutes. But if you're attacking people that are, like, little weak assholes...
You get punished for it?
Yeah.
So what does that skull do?
You're not allowed to go into the guarded areas because you'll get marked by knights. They destroy you like
vulnerable.
that. Yeah. And... you can get 5 keys from... Yeah, like every time you kill somebody, you get a key. And the keys are everything, are like the top 15 things that person has, even in their bank. So when you die, you lose everything you had except 10 items that you can keep in like a little locked box. And you lose 10 or 20% of your stats. And you got to start pretty much from scratch. You can keep 3 skills that are locked, and the rest of them you lose. But everything is... expedited. Like when you train, it's 10 times experience.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so you get a week to get and people will no life it. They'll do all the quests they need. They get ranked up real fast. And back in the day, all the clans would win the 10 or 20 grand. Because at the end of the tournament, there's smog, this little fog that comes, and if you're in that fog, it starts to kill you. So it like puts everybody into one consolidated area.
That's a Hunger Games tactic.
Yeah, and it's multi, so clans could just come a barrage or do these AoE effects and kill everybody, and then the last person alive wins. And once you die, once the fog comes, you're out of the game. Like, you can't even log back into that type of game mode.
Right.
But now they have it where the last 120 people get locked into these rooms, and it's 1v1.
120?
Something like that.
60 fights?
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's like they have the
tournament
round
bracket
one, and then once you kill that person, you get your health back, you get more items, and it goes to the next one. And then the next one, all the way down till there's one person left. And that's exactly what's going on right now. And there's a guy that he streams all the time, and he got in the top 8 and lost. But it's gnarly. It's for $20,000, so people take that shit so seriously.
Is there like a casual mode at all? Like could you and I sign up for some not local, but like a casual
Deadman mode?
Yeah.
Well, after the tournament, they have Deadman mode seasonal. Like every so often, they have a seasonal where you can go on and you qualify for the tournament if you get if you're like in the top 2,000 people and skills and shit. But Deadman mode itself, they have one where you can just play all the time, but it's dead. because nobody really plays it. Only people that play it are the people that are at the top, and they kill everybody off, and then once you lose all your shit, you quit. Because it's like, fuck, you just did all that work. Yeah. So that's why they have seasonals and tournaments, because it's not like a long-lasting game. But yeah, we could play it. It'd be fun. I'd fucking murder you so many times.
I figured we'd be doing it as like a team. You'd help me out or something.
Dude,
but yeah,
I'll lure you.
Fuck you then. Listen, I'll play RuneScape if you play Dota.
I'll try Dota. I have not played it yet.
It's a good game, and it's still on the resurgence. Like right now, they just released this premium like subscription type thing. It's like $4 a month. It's called Dota Plus. It gives you all these benefits, like you can track your progression with each specific little character. You get achievements in game, and it gives you suggestions to help you once you're in the game.
Do you gotta pay normally?
No.
Okay.
You don't play normally, but this is just like a premium thing. But people are starting to get up in arms about it because it offers help for the game, like when you're actually
strategy
playing
tips
it. Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, it helps you win.
Even pros, do they need those tips, or are they just there?
I mean, they wouldn't need it,
Right. Okay.
but I
Would
mean,
somebody like you need them, or
absolutely,
really?
and everybody in my skill bracket would absolutely benefit from it. But only people that pay for it are getting it.
Right.
So it creates this pay-to-win scandal almost, and
You gonna pay to win, bro?
I might.
You gonna pay to win?
I might if I get back into it. I haven't played in a little while. I've been yearning to get like a multiplayer kick going again, because I used to be pretty into it. And I'm not good at all, but
You did play it a lot. I used to
yeah.
piss you off all the time. I walk in your room and you're midway in a game and you
it's a very focus intensive
look
game.
right at me, and then every answer you give is I can hear the angst in your fucking voice.
Yeah, that's my way of just talking in a way that gets you away from me.
I know it, and then I fuck with you even more.
Which makes it worse.
And I come right back in.
God, it's horrible.
Good times.
Yeah, it's I mean, I don't know. It's hard to describe or hard to gauge these free-to-play games and how scummy it is. Because, I mean, we're playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and it's, like, they thrive on a lot of addiction-based things.
Right. They thrive on quick decisions. Like when you're in that moment of weakness, and you need that one more piece to upgrade your character, or you need this one character to help you unlock this new area.
Right. I've heard
and how convenient that it's on sale right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do that shit on
work
purpose.
that shit, and it's you can't get mad at them for that because they're giving you the option to play for free, or they're giving you the option to play to like actually
with
play
a shit ton
and
of money,
pay to play.
Yeah, I heard from a guy who used to work as like a free-to-play game community manager that the way they do things, it's not to like actually exploit people. They're not trying to steal all the money in the world from people. They're basing things on data.
Right.
So they're seeing how many clicks people get when they're low on shards or something like that, and then they'll just go off of that. So they're not even thinking about emotional stuff, just data-driven sales. So.
Right. That's how almost everything is now that's successful is purely data-driven. It's nuts how much information you can get from the smallest thing in data.
Yeah, it gives a lot. And then people get upset because they think you're screwing them over, but really you're just doing your job, making money.
People get upset when they spend money and they don't get what they thought in return.
I don't know. There's some states like Hawaii is trying to ban those type of games for predatory
Seriously?
practices. Yeah, like they tried to call Battlefront 2 gambling, and ban the game and others for predatory practices.
Did that person who just whooped your ass and got 67 kills on you? Do you think he paid to win?
It's likely. I mean, they're making a change. Battlefront is like they announced it yesterday that you wouldn't be able to buy things that actually improved your status in the game, like weapons and shit. You can
I think that's
buy
kind of
cosmetics and shit, but your progression is now going to be based purely on how much you play.
That's good.
And you earn it, yeah. So that actually made me buy the game because I stayed away from it just because it was completely pay to win. I know exactly what they want. Yeah, I did. I just bought it yesterday, man. I'm terrible. I get like 10 kills, but
it takes time. Did you see that Instagram video that I shared? That was from Diddy's Instagram.
No, what was it?
It's a minute long of this girl trying to just do like both of her feet are stance on the ground, just jump up and land on this little stool or some shit. And it's pretty high up. It's like up to her a little bit further than her waist. And for a minute straight, it just shows her trying and falling. And she's falling pretty hard. Like she's scraping her knees and like falling backwards and shit.
Jesus.
And she did not give up. Just repetition over and over and over. And at the end, like you see her dad like giving her encouragement, kissing her on the head, and then she finally did it. And you could just see the excitement in her. She looked and she just screamed, like you hear that roar. And then her dad was super proud, like, fuck yeah, that's going to be me. 1,000% with my kids.
When you do, with your kids.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that girl's gonna be like, what are you gonna do that's gonna make your dad come and kiss you on the head? What are you talking about?
I've done that before and almost broke my arm at my old job.
Do one of those jumps?
Yeah, because we had a skid. It was a 48 by 40 skid. It was probably like 52 inches high. And I was talking shit saying I could jump and just land on it.
How tall are you? 5'1"?
I like to say I'm like 4'18", shit like that. And
I see.
yeah, I'm pretty fucking tall, bro.
I should just say
like,
like
watch your fucking mouth when you talk to me.
68 inches or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And I had steel-toe boots on, which makes everything way harder. But I was being cocky. I think we were drinking at the time. It was a warehouse
Drinking
job.
on the job?
Yeah,
That's perfect.
No big deal. Late at night, the bosses are all gone. Had some fun. Go to jump.
Some Asha-approved fun. Yeah, let's do it.
First time, I bounced right. Like, I get to the top, but I couldn't keep my balance, so I jumped right off. Second time, I made it. And I was like, fuck yeah, I told you. And then when I went to go jump off, my foot got caught in the wrapping. This, like, the wrap on the skid.
Oh, no.
So I fall backwards, and I put my arm out like this to stop my fall. Like, all the way extended. And that's the first thing that landed on that concrete floor. And I heard my wrist tweak.
You're lucky you didn't break your fucking arm.
I know.
You're a fat boy. You put all that weight on your elbow.
My
my
fucking
God.
wrist was killing me for months. It sucked, dude. I wasn't fat then. You asshole. I was like 190.
That's what I said, fat.
That's fat.
I'm a nice slim 160 right now. I'm basically nothing but skin and organs, really.
You're skinny fat.
Yeah, a little bit.
You gotta lift some weights, bro. Do some deadlifts.
Maybe.
Deadlifts, bench, squat. You'd be alright.
I work out my brain more than I do my body.
Do you?
No.
I feel like you mind numb your brain.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's kind of the opposite. Whatever.
Oh, man. Did you see any more of LeBron's crazy highlights? See that dunk he did against, was it Portland or?
It was Portland, yeah. Because I remember after the game he was talking about Damian Lillard. I want so much. Every single time people call praise on Damian Lillard, I want to send it to you because you just don't get it.
Everyone's like praising him big time now because they're killing it.
You just realize how good he is. They're on an 11-game win streak. But yeah, LeBron smashed one.
He smashed one, but they lost that game.
Well, LeBron was complaining that he doesn't have any more All-Stars
Yes.
because Kevin Love is injured.
What happened with Kevin Love and that panic attack that he had? Do you know anything about that?
What do you mean?
Didn't he have a panic attack at a game?
Yeah, it was. I think it was a couple years ago. I think 2015.
Oh, I thought it was recent.
No, it was a while ago.
And he's just now talking about it?
Maybe I'm getting my numbers wrong, but it was, I think, at least a year ago, where he was at a game and he got off the court. Things were normal, and then he started getting lightness of breath. So he went into the locker room, and then the room was spinning. And he just couldn't keep
It
things.
was just like a panic attack?
It was, yeah. It was a completely panic attack. And he had to lay on the floor to stare at the ceiling. He couldn't do anything.
I wonder what caused it. Were they playing bad at the time? Did they have a lot of pressure on him?
I'm sure there was a lot of pressure on him, and there's a lot of pressure on all these guys, especially the superstars.
Especially if you're playing with LeBron.
Right, so not all of them are going to be like LeBron, and they're embracing it, getting tattoos, calling themselves the chosen ones. A lot of them are pretty reserved, like DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Love, and both these guys are battling depression for a long time. But
DeMar DeRozan, too?
He came out first and said something.
Damn.
That he was struggling with depression for a long time. Basketball was an outlet. And then Kevin Love saw that and released his Players Tribune story, which I definitely recommend you read. It's super emotional.
Isn't it crazy that even people at that level, making all kinds of money, can have whatever luxury or resource they want, and sometimes they're still just depressed?
Well, yeah.
It's-
Money ain't everything.
I always thought that depression was a bullshit weakness after I got out of my depression. Because what helped me get out of mine was I would always look at idols, look up to people that were good role models, and aspire to be them. Put myself in positions to help become a little bit more closely to them, like a better version of myself. And I would always say, like I grew up in Detroit, for example, bad area.
In the ghetto.
In the ghetto. But there's people that grew up in fucking worse places. And if they've made it out and they're more successful, I have no excuse. That was my motivation.
You should have been a rapper. That's the problem.
Something. But not everybody is like that. You can't.
Every case is different.
Right. You can't look at one case and say, well, he got out. What the fuck is your problem? And it took a lot for me to notice that, because there's times I'd be like almost angry at people when they're telling me their sob story. But I'm like, dude, ain't even that fucking bad. brush yourself off. Like, motherfucker, this guy just went through some shit way worse than that. You know, like, motherfucker, like, kids get raped and they come back and they're fine. And you're over here bitching about, what, a shitty job or something? Like, change it.
Yeah, you got out of your slump or whatever by taking the Joe Rogan approach and conquering your inner bitch, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So, but a lot of people, that's just not the way that they function. That's not the solution that they need. A lot of people might not even actually be depressed. They just think they are. Like, there's so many different factors, and these guys...
Perspective's everything.
Yeah. In these guys' cases, they just had a lot of pressure on them, and basketball is supposed to be an outlet, but instead they're getting a lot of hate and a lot of stress instead.
Yeah.
And because, like you said, they think depression is a bullshit weakness. You should just be able to handle it on your own. They don't talk about it. They don't go see anybody.
It probably hurts them even more, and they get so frustrated with themselves because they are feeling that way, and they think that they shouldn't be because of what they have and their talent and all that.
And then they have a panic attack in a locker room, and they can't do their job.
I'm glad that they're actually speaking out about it, though, because it's helping at least one person out there that maybe is going through something similar.
Kevin Love even said on his little story that he went and saw a therapist, and
good.
It really helped him out.
Sometimes just talking helps out. Like, there's times like you've had, like, you were down about something, and then we talk about it. Like, even the podcast, you thought one episode wasn't that good, and we talked. Like, well,
you're
not going to be fucking, like, the best podcast ever overnight.
Right. Things are a process.
Trust the process.
Trust the process, Joel Embiid.
That fucker just turned 24. We're older than him.
Blake Griffin just turned 29 yesterday.
And, was it Reggie Bullock?
Did he?
Yeah, there's two people on the Pistons that had their birthdays. I don't know how old they were.
Cool.
What's up with the Pistons? Are they gonna make the playoffs?
They're
at 9th right now.
I think they're actually in the same spot that the Lakers are in the West. But
but the West is way harder.
Yeah, they're in 9th or 10th, and they're like 8 games back or something like that.
And Miami's in 8th. I think we could beat Miami. Do you think we could in like a playoff format?
Yeah,
maybe. When's Homeboy gonna come back from his injury?
I have no idea.
What's his
Jackson?
name? Yeah.
I have no idea when he's supposed to be back. It was supposed to just be after the All-Star break, but haven't heard anything else about it.
We were a beast when we had him, right?
You're pretty good. Still subpar.
We were like number 1 in the East for a while.
For a little bit. A lot of things were happening, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. Pistons and most Detroit teams are just going to probably continue to be a disappointment. That's why I watch Chicago sports.
Oh, yeah, because the Chicago Bulls are doing so well.
Okay, let's not talk about the Bulls or the Blackhawks. Let's not talk about them. But the Bears are making some great signings. You got Allen Robinson, a wide receiver. They desperately need a good wide receiving core for their young quarterback. They have a rookie. He's now a sophomore. But lots of growth going on.
Is there a rookie quarterback or a sophomore quarterback? Is he really good? Is he supposed to be a star?
He was the number 2 overall pick.
It's not saying much. Stafford was the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, he's great.
Do you think he's great?
Numbers-wise, he hasn't won anything, but he's on the Detroit team. Like I said, they underperform. But he himself has usually done pretty well.
Would you consider him a top 5 QB?
Yeah.
Really?
Right now?
Wow.
There's just actually quite a bit of disparity with quarterbacks right now. Like, quarterbacks that you wouldn't think are that good are performing well.
Like who?
Like Case Keenum.
Never heard of him.
Alex Smith, exactly.
Never heard of him.
You don't know these guys, but they were in the playoffs deep. It's no longer a quarterback league. It's weird. It's weird seeing these changes live.
I heard Brandon Schaub talking about that once. Like, for 10 years in football, maybe running's the game. Like, all the running backs are killing it.
Got your O.J. Simpson.
Right.
Them.
But then everybody who's grown up and watches them is training to stop that. So, the defensive ends or whoever, I don't know shit about football, but they start getting really, really good at guarding running backs. And it gives
they get a lot more athletic.
Right, and then the receivers start shining because the running backs stop. So it's like a constant change and evolution.
The meta of the game shifts all the time, yeah.
This makes better and better athletes.
Like, the people that are coming out now are freaks.
Even in MMA, dude.
Yeah, there's one dude there's a rookie who was just at a combine, training out for other teams, and he was missing a hand.
I heard about him.
And he ran the fastest 40 out of any linebacker.
Right. Which is awesome. There's an MMA fighter. I fucking don't know his name. But
I'm bad with names.
I am terrible with names. Every time I don't know a name, if you drink, you're gonna die listening to this podcast. Okay.
Don't make that a drinking game.
But he was on the MMA Hour, and he's 14-1.
Mm-hmm.
His only loss ever was to Justin Gaethje for the title. And then he retired and he came back recently and he just smoked somebody. So he's a 14-1 and he might be in the UFC soon. A one-handed guy in the UFC. It's crazy.
A bunch of people. This is nub.
He uses it to choke out, like extra leverage and shit. There's no way.
Don't you need to lock your hands?
Well, you can grab it. You can grab the nub. But yeah, it's definitely harder.
Sounds like a disadvantage.
Oh, for sure it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome that
you work to overcome those disadvantages when you get them. Use it as motivation. Dude!
Huh.
Stephen Hawking died.
I know.
Speaking of motivation. I have a motivational quote from him, that's why I say that.
What's the quote?
However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. This is coming from a guy stuck in a wheelchair. He talks with a fucking machine.
Is it bad that when you read that, I was listening to it in his voice?
Yes, it is.
I don't even know what disease he had. That would be a shitty life, though.
I think.
ALS did that to him?
Mm-hmm. He had like 2 years to live, like 40 years ago.
Damn.
Something crazy like that. As always, my numbers may or may not be incorrect.
Yeah, don't use this as a source for your
Grain
paper.
of salt, please. That's what this podcast should be called. Grain of salt.
So, how has your progress been in your goals? Like, what kind of goals do you got going on right now? Ever since the LSD trip that we had a few weeks ago.
Oh, man. It made me reevaluate a lot of things like my purpose, which sounds super cheesy, but to do well in life, I think you do have to have like a big goal. Mm-hmm. Like a big goal that you're reaching for. Otherwise, you're just not going to be motivated when you have to do things. So like this this podcast, I don't really have like a end game for it or anything. It's just like, let's try it, see how we do.
Right.
Put it out there, hopefully get some money. But if you have a nice big goal, then you have something to work towards. And so that's kind of what I've been working on, is trying to find a purpose, quote unquote. I'm thinking about going back to school, just been focusing a lot more on art. I think I'm doing pretty well, actually.
Really? What you got going on?
Well, I just made a bunch of shirts for my company. I'm like establishing the brand by making cool designs.
That is sweet. Yeah, you have been killing it in that.
I've been doing a lot.
Good.
I'm doing a lot design-wise.
Does it feel better? Like, do you feel more driven and like happier?
I feel better when I'm more productive, which I wish I could tell that to my lazy self when I'm like middle way through the week and I'm like, I just want to go home, smoke a bowl, and not exist for a little bit.
Right.
But I don't know if that makes things worse for me or not. But like today, I got some things set up for the podcast. I made some efficiency changes and whatnot, and I felt good about it.
Yeah.
I went and saw my mom, had a fun lunch. Felt good.
How's Mama Johnston doing?
She's doing pretty good. Her and my dad are living a quiet life. They're like 50, 60. They're not 60. They'd hate me if they heard that. They're between that range, though. And there's actually something funny happened while we were at the restaurant. We had a server. Her name was Jade.
Was she hot?
She was attractive.
Did you go in for that?
No, I'm not going to hit on a girl while I'm on a lunch date with my mom.
Bro, waitresses have to flirt back. It's
that
easy
doesn't
practice.
Make any sense.
It's the perfect practice
with your
system.
mom there.
Fuck yeah, why not? Make
so.
your mama proud. Let her look at you like, damn, this kid got game.
Anyway, so my mom ordered some breakfast meal with some hash browns, whatever. We get our meal. She doesn't get her hash browns.
Is she a bitch?
Well, she didn't bitch or anything. My mom is a very cool-tempered person, a lot like myself. And our server came around. I was eating my food. I wasn't waiting. I got mine. I was hungry. And I heard my mom start talking to her like, excuse me, I didn't get any hash browns? And the server didn't say anything. So I was like, that's weird, as I'm eating. And then some silence went on some more. I looked over. The server was right there just looking at my mom. I looked back to my food.
Just staring?
Yeah. And then I heard the server say, that was probably my sister. I was like, wait, what? I look over, look at the name tag. It says Jasmine. Wasn't twins? Jade at all. It was a fucking twin. Her twin comes over beside. I was like, wait, what? I was not ready for this. I was super surprised. My mom got a fucking server mixed up.
That's hilarious.
And they were black too, so it kind of seems like...
Oh, no.
My mom just thinks all black people look alike.
Your mom is a racist.
She's not, I swear. My mom's a sweetheart. Carol Johnson is
people shouldn't be that sensitive in the first place.
They weren't. They took it in stride.
Good.
I assume they get it all the time. They're literally twins.
Were they?
Yeah.
My sisters get asked if they're twins all the time, Summer and Jasmine, because only a year apart. And I think they don't look alike at all.
They don't look alike.
Other people do for some reason.
I mean, they look alike, but they don't like. You're not gonna mistake them.
Do you have any like weekly goals that you set?
Weekly goals, they're mostly just podcast related, just like what amount of things I'm achieving every week.
Are you still exercising or?
A little bit, not as much as I originally started out with, but I don't know if that's too bad of a thing. As long as I get that activity going, I get some endorphins, and I'm not just sitting around like a potato sack.
Yeah, at least like 3 days a week, I feel.
Yeah, I'm doing like 4.
No, that's fine.
Whereas I started off doing the full 6 that the Insanity weekly workout wants me to do.
That's not sustainable unless you're extremely driven and you have an end date.
Yeah, I'm not driven. I don't have an end date, and my diet's not the best, so...
Right. Like if you sign up for a marathon or if you had a weight loss goal by a certain date, it's a lot easier to maintain.
Right, and that's sort of what I was talking about. You have that purpose that you can aim for. It just helps you get there.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do. On my board, I have weekly and monthly goals that I write down. I have similar weekly goals.
Like, don't you want to do a marathon?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
This year?
I definitely think it's possible. I definitely think if I continued with my running schedule right now, because I jog anywhere from like 16 to 20 miles a week. Because when I jog, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 miles, and I jog anywhere from 4 to 5, sometimes 6 days a week, because I just love running.
Yeah.
Like today, I woke up hungover as fuck, and I usually like. When I was a few years ago, I never got hungover, but now I don't drink that much. I just smoke all the time, so
when you do get hit, yeah.
I fucking feel it in my soul. I wake up like, this is the worst. And then like when you wake up and you're hungover, and then you try to go back to sleep, but there's usually something that's wrong. You gotta piss or you're thirsty as hell.
And then once you're up,
yeah,
it's impossible to go back.
Yeah, but I felt like that all day today. I finally pulled in, went out, I got out of my car. It's like 45 degrees outside, which is fucking. In Michigan lately, that's warm as hell.
Nice. I thought about going to the beach.
It's sunny. I was like, damn. I got motivated to go for a jog. I was like, I should just fucking go for a couple mile jog right now. But in regards to the marathon, I was looking up some training suggestions from people who've ran marathons in the past, and they say on average you should run about anywhere from 20 to 40 miles a week. And then every other week, you have one day where you do a long run. Like you do a 10-mile run, and then 2 weeks later you do an 11-mile run, and then 2 weeks later a 12-mile run.
Just keep increasing it?
Yeah, for a couple months. And then once you get up to about 20, like 15 to 20 miles, you're good. If you can do that.
You'll be able to make the marathon?
Right, because they say the walls at 20 miles and that extra 6 miles is the hardest part, but the energy that you get from the crowd and everybody pushing you is where you're going to get the energy to finish it out. And I don't even know if I want to even sign up for a marathon. I wouldn't mind just doing one on my own. Just going on Ann Arbor.
Come on.
Ann Arbor Drive or whatever the fuck it's called. That trail.
You'd be way more motivated if it was like a thing.
I would.
If there's a bunch of people and you're trying not to be like the slow one in the...
I gotta look up when there are some around here.
There was a Chicago
I know there's one in July, but
there was like a Chicago Bears 5K I tried to get you guys to go to, and it just never happened.
Here. Is it in Chicago?
It walks through Soldier Field. You can go on the field and everything. Right
5Ks ain't shit.
No, work up to it. It'd be shit to me, asshole.
You could get into 5K shape in a week. Easy.
Me?
It's 3 miles and some change.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I had no idea what 5K was. I knew it was 5 kilometers, but I don't know how far that is.
That's not that far at all.
Oh, well.
That's like as close to my resort I'm going to in Jamaica to the airport, which is dope. I didn't know it was going to be that close. So, so I get off the plane, I'm going to get fucking wasted. I've never had an all-inclusive trip. Have you ever done one of those?
No, not at all.
I heard they're like the go-to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get all this free drinks and shit. You get all set up.
Fuck yeah. My boss told me they spent over $7,000 in food and drinks at their all-inclusive resort in like 5 days. I was like, God damn, girl, how much did you drink?
Jesus.
She just gave me that look. Like, you know, motherfucker. You know there's a fight on tonight, right?
Yeah.
In London.
Verdum Volkov?
Mm-hmm. I had a dream last night that Verdum was knocked out cold.
Dun, dun, dun. You heard it here first.
And I think too deep into that shit. When I make my predictions, I judge how they look at each other at the weigh-in.
It's like 90% superficial
their post-fight
stuff.
comments. And I think that's the biggest factor. Because they all work hard.
Sure.
They all train. They all have the strength and conditioning and the cardio they're supposed to. They put the effort in. Your mindset is what is the difference between a champion and a contender. 1,000%.
But you can't tell someone's mindset based on how they're acting at
Not truly.
face-off.
Right. I just have hunches. Like
dreams.
Well, no, I've never had a dream like that before. I didn't have a dream Holly was going to head kick Ronda, but I did think Ronda was flustered, and I was curious, and I thought Holly was going to win.
Right.
Same thing with Nate. I thought Connor was flustered. Nate got into his head, and I thought Nate was going to win. But there's a lot of times I've been wrong as well, too. So just like fucking last fight, I thought Edgar was going to win, and he got knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty rough.
I enjoyed every second of it, to be honest. I like Frankie and all, but I was right, and I loved it.
I listened to some post-fight interviews from him, like after he got healed up and shit, and he's talking about going back down to 135. Not back down, but fighting at 135. Frankie's a legend. That fucker fought at 155 pounds, and his walk rate was 160.
It's ridiculous. Fighting
people like Tony Ferguson. He didn't fight Tony, but people that are big as Tony Ferguson, like they're 170, 180 pounds. Easy.
Right. Frankie's a little guy.
Mm-hmm. He's small. Brian Ortega towered over him. Mm-hmm. Like he said he weighed 170, I believe, in the cage fighting Frankie. Frankie's sitting there maybe 160, fighting a guy taller, probably stronger.
That sucks. Dude, did I ever tell you the story of how I used to be a wrestler when I was in elementary school?
No. I didn't even know they had wrestling in elementary.
Neither did I. But I signed up for it because I thought it was going to be like WWE. But what it actually ended up being was really fucking hard because I was a pretty heavy-set kid at the time.
You were a little chubby guy?
I was like 110 in elementary school, man. They were putting me against these big, lengthy dudes.
First grade.
I got beat up by a girl.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get humbled? Did you cry a little bit?
I cried. Not a little bit. I walked out sobbing.
Taught you a life lesson, I bet.
Yeah. I had a really bad time.
That's why you broke that bitch's fucking leg the next time a chick tried to challenge you.
Listen, that was completely
the co-host Dalton, he's just as bad as Chris Brown, people. Yeah.
Don't spread fake news about me. I had a pretty bad time with sports as a youngster.
Really?
I joined a soccer team. I was supposed to be like one of the best soccer players of my age group, aka 3 to 7.
Who said that?
My people training me. I picked it up like a natural. I was doing everything great. And then my first game came around. They put me in. The game was already going on. I rushed towards the ball, which everyone was running towards in the corner, and I stopped. I turned around and ran right back to my mom. That was the last time I ever did soccer.
You just don't like the...
I don't know.
The pressure? The competitive challenge?
I walked out there, and it was like, I'm supposed to do something here, and I don't want it. I'm going to turn around and not do it. And that's what happened.
I can see that. Like, in jiu-jitsu, when you're rolling with somebody, you can tell when somebody really wants it after they're just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
And it's nice when people are going through the motions, especially if they're a bigger belt than you or a higher rank than you, because then you can practice, and they focus on only their form, and you focus on everything. Mm-hmm. But if somebody's going all out, it's also good, because then you can try to just survive, or you can actually, okay, you're going to go out, I'll go all out, and then we're both going to collide, and it's like iron sharpening iron in that sense. Mm-hmm. So it's good to have both.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of...
Just not when you're a kid.
I think so. I think it was a good lesson for you. If I was your mom, I probably would have made you do at least one more game.
Oh, no.
But absolutely that's me.
My mom coddled me. I'm an absolute mama's boy.
I'm a mama's boy, too, but I hated my mom growing up. We were reminiscing of all the crazy shit that she did back in her day.
I remember all the shit you're talking about in high school.
Yeah, she was lunatic, man.
Yeah.
But it's your mom. You gotta love your mom.
True.
But I wanted to talk about Chris Brown. Because
okay.
Obviously he beat Rihanna, so he's an asshole.
Yep.
And he beats women, and that's like something that's pretty much unforgivable.
Unforgivable, yeah.
Oh, excuse that.
Wow.
Excuse that, host. I was thinking about it, and should you judge somebody for one thing in their life? Like, how old was he when that happened? He was pretty young, probably. Like, maybe 20?
I don't think so. I think he's actually, like, 28 or something now. So
is he?
That was probably, like, when he was 25.
No, it was way more than 3 years ago, dude. He's probably, like, 20. Let's just say, like, 20 to 25. Whatever.
Okay, sure.
He probably got wasted or whatever drugs, and he made a terrible choice. He hit a woman, which, to me, is, like, the biggest pussy coward thing a man can do. Mm-hmm. And, like, once that happened, I wrote him off. Like, I'm sure a lot of people did, like, fuck that guy.
That's what I did with John Mayer when he had that beef with Frank Ocean.
No beef. You made that shit up. You fucking asshole.
That was also Chris Brown.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh, my God.
I thought John Mayer had called Frank Ocean gay, and So I never listened to him, and now I'm still not listening to him, even though I know
that you were wrong. Even and John Mayer's a fucking G. He's super talented.
Oh no.
Chris Brown is really talented as well. You can't deny that.
True. Dances super well.
I was watching this new video with Lil Dicky, and it's like you almost want to like him.
He seems likable.
Yeah, and everybody that talks about him, I heard Jamie Foxx talk about him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about how talented he is and how great he could be, and how one mistake happened, and everybody's focusing on that. And it seems like he forgave him. And I can't speak for myself because I've never been in a position like that. I would like to say I would never do anything horrible like that, but I've never had all those resources, all that stress, all that pressure, and
probably drugs.
Oh, I'm sure shit ton. I mean, I've had drugs, but you know, with everything combined, maybe it was just a bad night.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just a bad person.
Okay, so I guess it is hard to judge someone based on a single action, especially over time.
Right. It's curious, ain't it?
But I mean, with how many people there are in the world, you can't really. It's hard to think that much about someone. Like once you form an opinion about someone, it's hard to just revert it. You only got so much space in your brain for those kinds of opinions.
That's why social pressure is so fucking intimidating. That's why people watch what the fuck they say.
People don't forget. You wet your pants in 7th grade, you'll hear about it till senior year.
Bro, this is why I love Joey fucking Diaz.
Oh, God.
Do you remember when Mackenzie Dern was fighting?
Mm-hmm.
And we were just in awe, and I was talking about that ass like, oh my God, that thing's so juicy.
She did it on purpose, I'm sure of it.
Oh, for sure. But then everyone was like, her ass ain't that good. I'm like, excuse me? I went on her Instagram, and I started showing everybody.
Well, let me show you.
Joey Diaz the following day was making a joke, saying he would have shoved his fucking face up her sweaty asshole or something like that.
He would drag his balls 10 miles across the Sahara Desert through glass just to sniff her butthole.
Is that what he said?
I've heard that joke.
I was like, God damn, I didn't even know that you knew this. But he got a lot of heat from it. Like, a lot of people were saying that he was being...
It's a little disrespectful.
Yeah, and...
Objectifying.
Mm-hmm. And then all the feminists out there, the social justice warriors, started going hard on him. And he posted on his Instagram, in respect to one of his comedian legends that he looks up to, he goes, I will never apologize for a joke. And I like that. Because he was joking. At the end of the day, he's a fucking comedian. Like, comedians say shit that could be offensive all the time. He wasn't saying anything that hurt her. Like, he wasn't talking about a defenseless woman. Like,
right.
I don't think Mackenzie Dern would take that much offense to it.
The one thing that bothers me is so many people come up in arms about someone else being offended.
Right.
Like, they're putting their own offense onto someone else and trying to defend them. Like, I don't think Mackenzie Dern needs you to stick up for them against Joey Diaz.
Right.
It's just not necessary. Let him tell the joke. Enjoy your goddamn life. You don't have to turn everything into a fucking revolution.
If you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Yeah.
He ain't trying to hurt everybody's feelings. The shit he's doing is not a negative. He's not doing it with a negative goal.
A lot of people these days surround themselves with those kind of negative sources just for that reason, so they can stick up to them.
Katy Perry's taking some heat.
For what?
I didn't know that she was like. I didn't even know fucking American Idol still existed, but it still does.
American Idol still on?
Yeah, and she's one of the hosts.
They canceled that like 3 hours ago. 3 years ago.
They should have when fucking Simon left. Now it's shitty. But anyways, they were doing the what do you call them? When the tryouts. That's what it's called, the tryouts. And a guy on there mentioned that he never kissed a girl. And they're like, what? He goes, I wanted to save it for something special. He's like an adult, whatever. Some religious guy or something. Sure. Some poor soul. And
well, based on where the story is going, it doesn't sound like he's poor soul.
Well, Katy Perry like offered to kiss him. And he was like, no, like I want it to be special. I want it to be with a person that I have feelings for. And then they convinced him to let her give him a kiss on the cheek. Or let him give Katy Perry a kiss on the cheek.
Okay.
And last second, she turned. And, like, they kissed and made lip contact. And he, like, fell to the ground, pushed himself off of her, and, like, went to go on and make a song. Like, he tried out. He fucking... I don't know if he was good or not, but he didn't make the cut. And everybody was up in arms about it, talking shit. It's like that she was putting pressure on him. And what if shit was turned? And that was a famous male actor or singer or whoever, and he kissed a little 19-year-old girl or however young this kid was. And he forced himself on her like that. That'd probably be like horrible. And everyone's defending the kid, and he finally posts on Instagram or something that like he didn't want the kiss, but he knew it wasn't. He didn't felt like he was being like she wasn't a predator.
Right, she wasn't pushing to it.
Right, like he didn't feel violated. He felt a little uncomfortable, but he doesn't think it's as big of a deal as everybody else is. But people just like to blow up just to blow up on any little situation they can.
Mm-hmm.
People like to bitch and complain.
It's true.
It's too much of that shit. That's why I barely even in my cancer book or any other social media platforms people talk shit.
Yeah, the internet as a whole is just turning into a cancer pit, and it's hard to tell why. Maybe we're just too used to it. We grew up in it. We have certain expectations.
And I just think that's the internet's so big, but we're focused on certain areas where it's all negative.
Is that just a human mentality, though? Because, I mean, you've had pitchforks throughout history.
Yeah, well, the mob mentality. People like to complain and
bring attention to themselves.
When somebody else has something that you don't, a lot of the times you don't want to accept the fact that they may have worked harder than you.
Mm.
They may have put more effort in. You only think that it's because of their luck or their status or who they know, shit like that. And then it makes you jealous and envious, and sometimes mobs form. And I'm sure there are times that, like, there's people that are born rich, they're born into it. There's other times where people are born with nothing and they work that hard to get up to that level, too. Right. So there's, like, a common medium that you have to have.
Sure. It's tough.
And as far as haters go and people envious, you're never going to see a successful person hating on another successful person that is, like, less successful than them. You know what I mean?
Never.
Not really. I mean, do you know of any successful people like The Rock that just talk shit about somebody else that's on a lower level than them? Like, they don't waste their time on that shit.
Rap beefs?
That's more for, like...
the show?
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, back in the day, rap beefs used to actually be crazy because people cared about their status and people cared about their reputation, and that now it's just a fucking public...
It's a show.
Yeah, it's bullshit propaganda.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
When's the last real rap beef?
Basically none.
Like 50 and Ja Rule, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, the most recent one I can think of is Drake and Meek Mill. And
right, well, is that like
that was Twitter fingers and diss tracks.
And Meek Mill is underrated in my opinion.
That's another person who they did one thing and I don't listen to him anymore.
What'd he do that made you not listen to him?
He got bodied by Drake.
I don't even think he got bodied by Drake.
The songs were good. You can rap every single word bounce back, can't you? Not bounce back, back to back.
Maybe, but it doesn't make him... Just because you can rap it back doesn't mean it was a crazy diss.
I can rap it back because it was a crazy diss. And it was great. And it's a
Did you even listen to Meek Mill's diss, though? I feel like Meek Mill can rap better than Drake. Lyrically.
Lyrically? I disagree.
But I'm always a hater on Drake.
I think he's a more real rapper. Absolutely.
Drake's #1 again. Yeah. On Spotify. Mm-hmm. And I got a confession. After watching the music video for God's Plan, I like that song now.
Seriously?
Just listening to it, there's not that much there as far as context lyrically. Because I love songs with meaning and lyrics. Mm-hmm. As far as the production, I'm just not a production guy. But after watching the music video, seeing everybody's happy and crying and how he's helping everybody, and he took the budget for the music video and spent it on helping everybody. Yep. I thought that was awesome. Mm-hmm. And I like, good job, Drake. I gave him like a little pat on the back.
See, that's why I don't like Freaky Friday that much by Lil Dicky.
Why?
It seems like it's just a music video. I don't think I could just listen to it, man.
I feel like once you watch the music video, you can listen to it and then you can picture it and just jam out to it. That's what I do.
You just said you like songs with meaning, and the meaning here is that he's in Chris Brown's body?
No, the meaning there is... I know
there's a subtle thing where Chris Brown is not happy with his life because of the stress put on him, and now he gets...
Did you watch the music video, bro?
I did, yeah, I get that.
They both were complaining about their lives,
I get it.
And then once they were in each other's shoes, they missed their own lives, and they loved themselves.
I mean, look like...
So the point of it was to love yourself.
Sure.
And not fucking worry about what other people have. In a funny way, it made it cool and...
But the song, the chorus for it, instead of being something like, just be yourself, it's, I'm in Chris Brown's body.
Because what sounds better? Be yourself or...
Obviously, you can figure out the lyrics for it.
Brown's body. Well, he couldn't.
Obviously not, so he went with I woke up in Chris Brown's body.
And you can't really dance cool to I Love Myself. I mean, you can, but...
You can't.
Not in a Freaky Friday kind of song.
Pretty sure Bruno Mars does that to, like, every single song.
Chris Brown would probably dog Bruno Mars.
In a dancing contest? Chris Brown would probably kill a lot of people in a dance-off. So anyway, we got a little off topic, but what are your picks for Doom versus Volkov? You going with your dream?
I did have Verdun, but now I'm going to pick Volkov by knockout.
Because of your dream?
First round knockout.
Oh my god. How do you know it was in the first round? Did you see the little ticker in your dream?
No,
You're just guessing?
Just guessing.
Based on how fresh they look, maybe?
Like, Verdun looked knocked out, and I could hear the crowd going crazy, and I heard the commentator say, what a knockout. Who would have thought this? Oh my god. And I'm thinking in my head, like, oh my god. I literally thought of the podcast, like, no, I got another pick wrong. I'm giving everybody such bad advice.
Okay, well, there you go. Here's your bad advice based on Nick's dream. Pick Volkov if you're a betting man.
Yeah, pick Manwa too.
I'm going to go with Verdun and Manwa.
Why Manwa? Because you can't pronounce the other guy's name?
Blashowitz?
Oh, damn it. Never mind.
Don't challenge me, sir. You're the one who can't pronounce or spell or do anything. I'm an author.
You're an author. You are an author. I read your first chapter. I haven't read the second chapter.
The actual first chapter or the prologue? So you skipped the prologue, you read the first chapter?
Correct. I read the chapter of Martin.
That's not even the one that I read or wrote.
Well, I haven't read yours yet, bro. Just give me some time.
You've had it for like a month.
I'm a busy cat. Busy bee over here.
Bullshit. You spent all yesterday fucking getting puke and shit and piss in your car.
That's not my.
Those were your activities.
I made both parties who made those things happen in my car.
You made them suffer?
I made them clean that shit up.
Oh, I see.
Sam cleaned up the puke in my car, and Zena cleaned up the piss in my car.
Does your car still smell like a Detroit bar?
No. My God. I hate the smell of puke, bro. I throw up.
That's good.
What do you think we're going to do tonight?
Man, we're going to go to the arcade. That's going to be fun.
Have you been in this arcade before?
I have never been there, but to be honest, I've never really been in a legit arcade with like actual...
Not even the one in Ann Arbor?
No, Pinball Pete's.
Yeah, that was mine and Sam's first date.
Yeah, I've never been there.
First kiss in the Jurassic Park little booth thing where they slide and you play the game.
How romantic.
I know, right?
We're getting chased by raptors and you smooch.
We died and then I kissed her.
Aww.
How romantic.
I know. Yeah, we'll probably play some games. I imagine we will go bowling, and then we'll hit a bar for like one drink and then go home.
That sounds kind of lame. You gonna talk to a bitch?
I'll talk to a bitch.
Ayo.
I'll talk to a woman respectfully and maybe have a nice conversation, see where it goes.
This is what I want you to go say.
Okay.
I want you to walk up to a girl.
This better not be what I think it is.
Say, do you have any raisins? And they're going to say, excuse me? And you're going to say confidently with a smile on your face, do you have any raisins? Mm-hmm. And they're going to be like, no. And then you're going to be, well, how about a date? And there's
dumbest joke I've ever heard.
There's two ways this goes. There's two scenarios. That's it.
Okay.
One scenario is they're going to look at you and just say, no. Like, get the fuck away from me. Like, oh my God, that was the worst pickup line ever. And you're just going to laugh and walk it off. Mm-hmm. Or they're going to laugh at you and say that was the worst pickup line ever.
Okay.
And then you're going to laugh and you're going to have a conversation with them.
So they're going to say that was the worst pickup line ever, no matter what. Right. I just have to gauge the mood of which they say it. Mm-hmm. Women are hard to read. Thank God I grew up with women. This is too hard.
Because I know them off. I know them motherfuckers. Pisses Sam off so much. But I know what you're trying to do, and it ain't going to work.
You think you're so fucking smart.
Sometimes it works, though. Sometimes she gets into my head and she makes...
Yeah.
She makes me look
you
like
think you understand things, but you're just as much a victim as everyone else.
Hey, fake it till you make it,
So
baby.
what are your goals for today, then?
For tonight? Mm-hmm. Have fun at the arcade. Hopefully Sam can get off early. And then she can meet up with us. Mm-hmm. And if they're done by like 11, I want to go out and still have a few beers.
Maybe just in Brighton, though. We don't drive another 40 minutes to Ann Arbor.
Yeah, either in Brighton or here, around here. Go to Irish Bar. Maybe Sam's friend who has the hots for you. You can go in and get your practice there.
Wait a minute, what?
Get your dick wet.
Didn't I say that's not what I wanted to do? That was not the plan.
You say that until alcohol's involved. That green beer, man, gets to you.
Anyway, so I got nothing else to say here. We're going to have a nice...
Are you trying to end the podcast?
Irish...
You gotta get the fuck out of here?
St. Patty's Day. We're going to have a nice, good day today, I'm sure of it. And what do we want from you guys
I'm kind of shocked you're not wearing a Conor McGregor shirt, if I'm being honest.
If I owned one, I would. Oh, change the accent. That's English. Anyway, if you guys like the episode, subscribe, like, give us a follow, rate, and just do something positive today. How about that?
Have some fun. It's a holiday.
Yeah.
It's okay to give yourself a break. Don't stress on that shit too much.
Good advice, Nick. I'm sure they've never heard that before. Don't take things too seriously.
Yep, that's our advice.
Okay.
Also, too, we are doing the NBA Be a GM series for long term. So if you have any suggestions, if you want to check that out, we're going to be streaming that. And we're going to have a YouTube series on games that where you don't feel like streaming, you just want to relax, smoke, and play.
Right. We'll
upload those on there.
We'll put our streams on our YouTube as well. You can find it all on our website. We'll list all the episodes there. Nicely scroll through those.
Yeah, it's pnda.com. So, Panda.
It's not official.
Subscribe to all of our social media. Share the shit. Rate it.
All of it?
All of it.
Even our Pornhub account?
Especially our Pornhub account.
We got good shit, man.
No other person that has some kind of following has ever shared their nudie collection. Other than Paul Rudd, of course, on Steve Carell with 40-Year-Old Virgin. Got a big box of porn for you.
Perfect. That's basically what
we can do that on another level.
A big digital box of porn.
You're welcome, people. Stay tuned.